It is top of the hour, and it's time for making a difference. In this show, we explore people in our community and the differences that they make in our lives. I'm your host, CJ Metcalfe, and today we're going to try to out the spaghetti bowl of. I don't know about you, but when I think of that, I get a headache. I mean, can't I just push a button and say, yes, you know, give me that plan. Don't bother me with all this confusing stuff. So, to help sort this out, my guest today is Patrick Kendrick, and he is an independent agent, and he's going to help explain things to us. And we're going to go from there. Patrick, welcome to the show.
Hi there. Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Please help us with this. Patrick, first thing, I see on television all these commercials and ads that say, call this 800 number. You know, all these movie stars and everything
Right.
that endorse it. What, what is your comment about calling that 800 number?
Well, CJ, I think over the past couple of years, the Medicare maze, as I like to call it, it's kind of become the wild, wild west. Um, there's a lot of things happening outside in the community. The past 2 or 3 years, I would say, the commercials, they're just like flooding the airwaves this time of year because we are in what's called the annual enrollment period. And what I've noticed by far is it is creating nothing but confusion for Medicare beneficiaries. Yes, there are a lot of different plans to choose from. People have a lot of different options. And let's be honest, most people hate insurance. They don't like to talk about insurance. And these commercials, it blows my mind because, again, it draws a lot of confusion. And let's talk about that. I personally believe I've been an insurance agent for going almost 20 years now. I deal nothing but with Medicare currently for about the past 12 years. And I get phone calls every single week. People say to me, my clients, people that aren't my clients, what is with these commercials? How do I get $3,000 in dental coverage? So I want to stop right there. A lot of people, meaning the general public, three things they need to know Medicare does not cover. One is dental, two is hearing, and the third is vision. So dental is a big problem for Medicare beneficiaries. I understand that. The commercials lead you to believe that you're missing out on all these additional benefits when I will in fact tell you the only people who qualify for those benefits on those commercials, 9.5 times out of 10, is people who are on Medicaid. You see, that's the key. They don't tell you that. They talk about transportation, home delivered meals, free hearing aids. Those plans are available on the street, but once again, you have to be on Medicaid. So in my eyes, really what they're doing, they want you to call that 800 number. They're going to keep you on the phone for a lengthy period of time, at least an hour, hour and a half, and they plug you in with your zip code, okay? And really what they're doing is pulling a bait and switch on people. I personally have seen numerous people that have gotten very hurt by those commercials, meaning they were in a very good plan and the person on the other end, who, by the way, is probably in a call center in Minnesota or Utah, and they put them on another plan that doesn't fit them properly. So, that's kind of what's going on, and it drives me crazy because I am in a very compliant industry. Okay, our Medicare industry is governed by CMS, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. Now, I have read recently that they are looking into these commercials. I personally think they need to pull them off the air because there's going to be a lot of complaints with Medicare. Okay, CJ?
Um, Tell me, okay, so if you call that number, you're going to get sent to that 800 number. You're going to get sent to cyber phone space someplace. You're going to get probably a young person pushing the sales, and you don't know who you're getting, what company you're getting, or anything. So if we were like to call you, all right, what are you going to do for a beneficiary? Okay, you're going to offer the basic Medicare plan, and then through you, all these other things, the hearing, the vision, the dental, I take it those are available as a separate add-on policy for maybe a little additional money. Is that how this works?
Well, a lot of these, well, all of these commercials, I should say, because we are in the annual enrollment period, which ends December 7th, what I would basically do, I would love to be used as a resource, okay? My purpose this morning is strictly educational. I want to help people. I always help people in educating them. I am not here looking for a sale like those 800 numbers do. My bottom line is to educate. So the first thing I would need to know is what kind of plan does that person have, and find out if it's the best fit for them. But those commercials, CJ, are all Medicare Advantage commercials. When somebody is on Medicare, when they turn 65, that's when normally someone goes on Medicare. Unless they've been on Social Security disability for 24 consecutive months, they then are able to go on Medicare. Okay, so what are their options? They could stay on original Medicare, Part A and B. A is your hospital, B is your outpatient, your doctor visits, and your tests. Now, I never suggest just staying on original Medicare. Why? Because it's very open-ended, meaning Medicare is going to pay 80%. That person now is on the hook for 20%. Plus, Part A hospital has a high deductible. Part B, doctor visits, has a deductible. And then there's no caps on what somebody can be out of pocket. So if someone had, let's say, a $100,000 hospital bill, they very well could be on the hook for upwards of $20,000. Now, the other piece to that equation is, and again, the general public doesn't know this for the most part, you are required by law to take a Part D prescription drug coverage, whether you take any medications or not. Okay, a lot of people don't know that. And people say to me, well, why do I need drug coverage if I don't take any medications? It's one of those things. It's our government, and you are required. So you are required to have some form of prescription drug coverage. The good thing about the Medicare Advantage plans, the drug coverage is built inside. Okay, so it's all wrapped together. Now, most Medicare Advantage plans out on the market, on the street today, they're offered for a 0 monthly premium, right? Everybody says, wait a minute, nothing is free, right? So they say, what's the catch? Or how is this not costing me any money per month? And that's a very good question. How that works simply is the federal government subsidizes XYZ company, depending on the plan they're in, because the numbers can range. But let's keep it simple. CJ, if you enrolled on a plan with 0 monthly premium, the government will then subsidize that company $900 per month per member. That's how they can offer it to you for a 0 monthly premium. Okay? Now, the other thing to keep in mind here, most people have to pay that Medicare Part B premium. You see it on the commercials. Get your $148 paid for. Once again, the only people that gets paid for are people who are on Medicaid. Medicaid, and they're the lower income brackets. Okay, so that's kind of how that works, CJ.
So, okay, so we have basic Medicare, and then these advantage plans that you can obtain for 0 monthly payment. My next question is going to be, are those advantage plans, are they an HMO or are they a PPO?
Good question. The most popular plans are HMOs and PPOs. So whenever anyone is looking at these plans, the very first thing that they should be concerned and look into is, are my doctors in that plan? Are my specialists in that plan? Are all the local hospitals in my area, do they accept that Medicare Advantage plan? See, HMOs are fine, but they don't work for everybody, okay? Because typically you have to reside and stay in that service area to get your medical services. With a PPO, you're going to get much more flexibility. It gives you the option to go in and out of network. PPOs will typically work for, let's say, people who are snowbirds. If they live in Chicago half the time of the year up there, or Indiana or Michigan, that plan usually will work up there just like it does here in Southwest Florida. So yes, HMOs, PPOs, I really have to dig deep with people, ask them these questions before I might make any type of recommendation. And I apologize, but you asked before. Yes, those Medicare Advantage plans, they do offer original. First of all, they have to offer everything and cover everything that original Medicare covers. So there's nothing that they don't cover. By law, they have to cover everything Medicare covers. Then you get the additional benefits. So what are they? You can get some dental benefits. Now, a lot of the plans, as I mentioned before, dental is very hard to come by. I know, I feel people's pain. But more than likely, it's preventative dental. You might get a couple of cleanings, exams, and x-rays throughout the year, maybe for a zero copay. Some plans have added, let's say a PPO might have $1,000 worth of dental, meaning they might cover comprehensive if somebody needs dentures or a crown. The best you're really going to find is maybe $1,000, maybe a little bit more, depends on the plan, depends on the company. Then some plans offer other benefits like over-the-counter products. They could give $60, $80 on all types of over-the-counter products, things you and I purchase at Walgreens or CVS on a daily basis. And it's like credited money to you. It's free money. So people really like that. The vision coverage, you have vision coverage. Some plans offer maybe $200 a year towards frames, contacts, lenses. These Advantage plans also offer coverage for hearing aids. We all know how much hearing aids can be today, upwards of $5,000, $6,000. So those are some of the additional. What'd you say? You need a hearing aid. But it's just it could be very costly for people.
Okay. Now, with my experience, I went to an HMO supplement, and you talked about the OTC, the over the counter items that it covers. Well,
Products.
my experience was I had to order it through the plan, and I got these subgrade products. I mean, they were off brand, low end, and I was like, oh, this isn't going to work. So, how can let me ask you this: what would the price? What would the average price be to get a supplement plan that would cover $1,000 dental, a couple of $100 on vision, and the hearing?
Right. Well, again, CJ, I don't want you to confuse a Medicare supplement, or also known as Medigap plans. That's a different animal than Medicare Advantage. So it's okay. You're just using the wrong terminology. A Medicare Advantage plan with those benefits, the OTC, the dental, the allowance towards, eyewear, those are zero monthly premium plans in most areas. In most areas. Other states, there could be a $20, $30 monthly premium. Here in Southwest Florida, we are fortunate, but to answer your question, with those additional benefits, zero monthly premium. Did that answer
So
you?
it would be better. Well, okay, so there is a difference between Medicare Advantage and Medigap, and that's
That,
interesting. I
yeah.
didn't know. I didn't understand that difference. Why would people want to go to a
Okay.
Medigap plan?
Well, Medigap, basically how they work is, once in the beginning, like I said, original Medicare will pay 80%. That person's on the hook for the 20%. So the Medigap or Medicare supplements, there's 10 standard plans. They're all the same all across the country with every company. They're designed to pick up that 20% for that Medicare beneficiary. Now, the thing with Medigap plans is there's no network. You can go anywhere in the country, whereas the Advantage plans have a PPO or HMO. You have to stay in network. With a Medigap plan, some people like the freedom of being able to go anywhere where doctors, hospitals accept Medicare. So that's one positive thing about that. However, the other flip side of that is a Medigap plan could cost somebody, it's based on age, um, whether they're a tobacco user or not. So somebody could be paying anywhere from $180 to maybe $250 a month for that Medigap plan. And then on top of that, they have to take out a standalone Part D prescription drug plan. Okay, the average drug plan costs about $30 nationally. So think about it. A lot of people on Medicare are on fixed incomes. A lot of people might not be able to afford 250, 260, 280 a month because they're also paying that 148, which, by the way, if you noticed in the news recently, the current administration is it's about a 14% hike next year. That 148 where we've been for the past couple of years is now going to 170 a month. And not everybody can afford that every month, CJ. So, it's really all about comfort. It's about their doctors and what they're comfortable with.
This, Patrick, thank you for helping sort this out. You know, the difference between Medigap and the Medicare Advantage plan. We're getting a question for our listeners. What about prescription drugs? I get confused about which ones to have for my husband. My husband is on Xarelto and Entresto, which are very expensive drugs.
Right?
What what drug coverage
Yes.
should they have?
Well, my first question would be, are you talking about a standalone prescription drug plan? And I'd be more than happy to help you navigate. Um, that's another very good point when somebody is looking at plans. With Medicare, all across the board, prescription drugs are laid out in tiers 1 through 5. Tier 1 is your generic, 2 is your preferred generic, 3, now we're getting into brand names. We're getting into very expensive meds, all the way up to 5. And typically, each drug plan, they might very well have a deductible on tiers 2 or higher. They might have a deductible on tiers 3 or higher. So what I normally do or help somebody navigate is go to the government website, medicare.gov, and you have the availability to shop prescription drug plans in your area. It also gives you the capability to type in those medications, the Xarelto and the other one, and then you'll now see all of that person's options. Like up here where I am, Manatee, Sarasota County, there's 22 different drug plans to compare. So, I do it all the time. It's what is going to be the best drug plan for you. So, that's where I would suggest starting is medicare.gov.
Okay. Patrick, we're getting close to the end of the show here. If people, I hate to put you on the spot here, but if people wanted to contact you and explore options with you, you're a very honest and open person, and I dearly appreciate that. How can they get a hold of you in 40 seconds?
No problem, CJ. I am very, very busy right now. I am on the road, but I always return phone calls. At this time of the year, I'm working up until 9 o'clock at night, so that's not an issue. I would suggest my best phone number would be my home office line. So that number is 941 756 7902. I'll repeat it, 941 756 7902. And I would be more than happy to answer any questions. Please use me as a resource because there are a lot of people out there that are confused, right, through the maze of Medicare. And they need help. They might be widowed. They might be all alone. And the other thing I wanted to make mention is please, please be careful of those 1-800 number television commercials. Why do I say that? Because I've noticed over the past few years, when somebody does this over the phone, a lot of times they don't even know what they enrolled in. Okay, so I personally believe it's best to work with a local agent, okay, that's going to explain all those benefits rather than learning the hard way later on, okay? The other thing, last note I'd like to make mention is the general public is not aware of this for the most part, but they think they have until December 7th, right? That is the close of annual enrollment period. What they don't know, because we are not allowed to advertise and market, if somebody were to feel they were in a bad plan, or it's not going to work, it's not going to be a good fit, or their doctor doesn't take that plan, from January 1 to March 31, that is called the open enrollment period. So somebody has that 3-month window to make one last plan change. So I just wanted to bring that to people's attention. January 1 to March 31 is an open enrollment period. They can either go back to original Medicare or they could jump from one company to the next, and then they're typically locked in until next annual enrollment period, which starts October 15th.
Patrick, we are unfortunately out of time. I want to thank you very,
Okay.
very much for coming on the show. And it sounds like I may need to have you back on the show, maybe after the first of the year, to explain the options at that time. I appreciate your time. For those people listening on the radio, you can go to the Facebook page and see the phone number if you didn't get it. This is CJ Metcalfe, thanking you very much for listening. Thank you, Patrick, for explaining this, and we will see you next week.